What you are currently witnessing is my first hands-on experience with the newest operation of Rainbow Six Siege called Operation Deadly Omen. And I've got to say, this time around, this has got to be one of my favorite seasons yet. At least the launch. It just feels so good. Everything seems so right. Fundamentally, the bouncing and changes make sense. The game didn't seem one-sided in the slightest, and more importantly, it feels like everyone is a winner. 1.5 times users who enjoyed the scope last season can still enjoy their favorite scope while getting enhanced views / angles from the new 2.5 magnification, because every single attacker now has this scope. It's just crazy out here. And then let's talk about shields. Shields are now a funny gimmick in Siege, which honestly feels hella broken to use. They kind of just pop out of nowhere and hit you twice and then you die. You're unable to react. And then the defenders. The defender lineup just got even more crazier. Defenders like Frost, Alibi, Tubrel, and Rooney, whom I thought were kind of lacking last season, but they feel like even more powerhouses this season. They feel like they can get their job done and excel. Overall, as I said, it feels like everyone here is a winner, and I'm excited to see where the Rainbow Six team will take us next season. Even in my playtesting, it felt like everything was fleshed out. Yeah, the new attachments and how attachments got revamped, mainly laser sight, it felt a little akin to Call of Duty, just from my personal stance, but this was a welcome change. It meant every single choice is now a valid choice. It just depends on how you use them. For example, last season, I was previously only a 2x, 1x optic user. I know some people who shared my sentiment, but the large majority of Siege players enjoyed and relished the 1.5x scope. Now this season, I still stick to the same beliefs, but the ACOG scopes, the 2.5x scopes, they're a staple in every single shooter game. You know, it's so cool, but then you get other people who are migrating from other FPSs who are like, oh wow, I recognize this sight. And not being penalized for choosing an optic, it's refreshing. And honestly, it simplifies the process on onboarding. I feel like before it was like this whole debate over, oh, is iron sights good? Oh, but the 1x, is that the best? And then you have the ACOG and then the 3x, kind of your traditional scopes and whatever. And then there's still Kali and Glass to talk about. It's just a lot. It was a big mess, but this time it feels a lot more streamlined. It feels a lot less cluttered. I mean, let's just talk about everything. The locker, it allows me to sort through and easily access items of value to me. Customizing an operator's loadout doesn't even seem like a daily chore anymore. It feels so easy. I'm like, what do I want? Do I want a run and gun operator, or do I want hold this angle, keep this angle closed, right? Kind of operator. Well, now there are benefits to both playstyles, and I can play every attacker the way I want to. Everything makes sense from a balancing standpoint. And speaking of balancing, Izami's nerf was the most pleasant thing. I'm gonna be honest, it was really pleasant. I didn't really find myself in situations playing Izami a whole lot. Maybe it was because of her recent nerf, but she still feels like the same good old Izami we know, but not like an immortal, spawn peeking, pixel angle holding succubus we've known her as up until today. The threat there, everything surrounding her, it just got lessened. It doesn't feel like it's an invincible outcome. It doesn't feel like Izami is such an overwhelming threat anymore. And that's just one off the board. We still got Solus, we still got, who else? We still got, I mean, Tubrow's kind of fine. I think Tubrow's kind of fine, but he just got the ACOG as well, so who knows? Maybe this season will be crazy with Tubrow. Who else are we talking about? Weird, yeah, so mainly Solus. Give me that Solus nerf. But anyway, the thing I want to capitalize on here is that she's not immortal anymore. She's not that threat, as I said. She's toned down. You don't have to waste an Ash charge or all 4 floors drones on her Kiba barriers. Her pancakes are just one bullet away from collapsing. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about her. It was a welcome change. On to more important news. Remember how I said everyone and everything felt like a viable pick? This goes for the gun types as well. I feel like every gun is usable, it's viable now. Personally, I felt no difference or very little difference with LMGs. Shotguns feel way more fluid to use, and it's honestly surprising how many gunfights I win now with shotguns than I did before. I mean, the speed difference is just crazy. It's night and day. I'm like, whoa. Sometimes, I pick up that weapon and I'm like, whoa, I should not be already aiming at his head, but I do, and that's how it is. And like every other weapon is fine. Like it's like you can customize it however you want. It kind of feels like, again, not to harp on this, yeah, it feels like you're playing Call of Duty. You're building the perfect weapon out here, but I like it. And when I say all of this about Call of Duty and whatever, that's just the easiest comparison that I can make. I'm not saying it in a way of, oh, the TDM meta is here, woohoo, TDM meta or whatever. I mean it in a way that players now have free reign to the way that they want to play the game with their favorite operators, and I think that is the biggest thing. For example, for as garbage of a weapon the sausage is for Kapkan versus his trusty and reliable 9x19, I found myself using the sausage because of the new attachments and the new attachment changes. Same thing with Ella's FO12. It just feels right. It feels like it's a viable option now. Like, the FO12 was already a monster, but it feels like I can get any job done or have any successful roam with Ella just by slapping the horizontal grip on her weapons. And don't even get me started about Oryx. Dude was already the fastest operator in Rainbow Six Siege, but with iron sights, laser sights, and a horizontal grip, it feels like Ash on Nitro or something. Like, it feels like he's going like 5 speed or something. Like, Oryx is just crazy. Try it with the horizontal grips. He just feels crazy. But that's really all I want to talk about with the new season. Sure, I can gush more about operators, but it feels like the floodgates have finally opened, and it finally feels like every single operator is viable again. Frost now has a welcome place in my heart. Fuse can absolutely troll and still win with the shield. The G8A1 ACOG is back on my one and only original main, IQ. When I started this game, I started this journey with IQ. She was my first elite skin. She was my first ace. She was one of the first characters I picked up. She was my introduction to the game, and I welcomed it. And the G8A1, it was a monster back in the day, and it's about to skyrocket to the best weapon on attack. And it is truly a dream and a blessing. I get nades and an ACOG, and I'm practically a 4-speed. Like, what could go wrong? This season has been amazing in so many ways. This is just the introduction. But yeah, as I said, that is the end of the video. This time around, I'm uber impressed with this season. I'm definitely going to be testing out every single gun combination, or at least trying to find my personal favorites, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on the game. Comment down below what you think about the current season of Deadly Omen and where it's at right now, and make sure to subscribe for more. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace. This season's gonna be crazy. Like, I don't think there's anyone who doubts that. Like, this season is, it's just gonna be crazy. I mean, Deimos is just a fun operator. Everyone has new loadout options. Like, everyone wins. I mean, besides Kali. Besides Kali. Literally, I think Clash and Kali, I think, are the only ones. Not even. Like, Clash, at least, like, laser sights. I mean, Kali, yeah, sure, you can put laser sights on their things. But, like, dude. It's like Clash and Kali are, nah, they're just not it anymore. R.I.P. R.I.P. Damn, that sucks. I'll see you guys later.